Hey everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead, and we are visited by our friend Doug from Emil Life. How you doing, brother?
Hey, great to be here and awesome to reconnect.
Yeah, I wanted to reach out to you, and because you have a unique and a professional opinion and knowledge about what I want to talk about today, and that is medicines and availability. Because we are seeing in the grocery stores and in the medicine sections, even at the big box stores, things aren't getting resupplied.
Nope, not nearly as quickly, right?
And what is getting resupplied seems to be costing a lot more.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just we don't do fear, but I am getting concerned. The eyebrow is getting raised, and I'm wondering, is this something that we should be having on our radar? Should we be putting some stuff away that maybe is not going to perish soon? What do you see on the horizon? Because you're in the forefront of this.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of different things. So when we look at the grocery stores, let's say, so when people feel the cold bug coming on or the flu bug coming on, and I know that the audience here watching your show is very holistic and natural, but let's just say that the general consumer, for that matter, when they feel something coming on, the first thing they do is they go to the grocery store or they go to the health food store, or they hit their pharmacy, right? And they're looking for products like Benadryl, Vicks, like,
Basics.
There's a huge cold and flu section in the pharmacy, right? And what we're seeing right now is those shelves are wiped out, and they're pretty much empty on a daily basis. And there's two sides to that. And I'm not going to advocate, for or against those kind of products. But just in understanding sort of what's got us here, let's say, because I'm on the natural side of wellness, and as you know, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. So there's a couple sides to it. One is this cold and flu season has been a lot more prolific already this year. And we're hearing that from the people reaching out to us, looking for help with this. But so we've got what I believe is, a lot of people are immune compromised from what's happened over the last couple of years. And then a lot of that has been, just people not being socially engaging with others, right? So our immune systems have wreaked some havoc as a result of that. So when we look at it, there's a supply and demand side of things, that there's just a lot more customers than usual looking to buy those products, and the supply chain got backed up. The second part of it is, and this is what most people don't realize, is the ingredients and the formulations to produce those products mostly come out of China. And pretty much everybody has seen the supply chain interruptions, let's say, of China. We've seen, the freighters parked out in front of California. We've seen energy challenges in China. We've seen lockdowns in China a lot more nefariously than in the United States. So that whole system that is usually, let's say, a year ahead of time in producing the raw ingredients and the products that go into making these has completely backed up and fallen apart. So it's a domino effect. Is you've got a manufacturing issue, a supply issue, a shipping issue, and then an ability to supply the end consumer with those products. And as we see this system, let's say, deteriorate even further, it's going to put that tension. So here's just an interesting concept: a box, right? And I'm looking at doing a new product right now, which, this is just a sample box, for instance, that holds a 4-ounce bottle in it. Okay. I was talking to the packaging company yesterday that produces this box. This box used to be 50 cents. Okay. For just a standard box that holds a bottle in it. This box is now $2.50.
Whoa.
Okay.
What?
But you know what's even crazier is the boxing company told me yesterday, Doug, we can do this for you, but you may wait 6 months for us to get supply of the paper and the cardboard to produce this box.
Okay, I am blown away, but this is going to be maybe a little, it's not a rabbit trail because it does bring it back. There's a channel that I watch. This is a Christian guy who does analysis of like military aircraft, but shipping. And because these are publicly known things, you can get software that you can watch and track and see who's doing what. And it's called Monkey Works is the name of the channel. And he has basically been saying that a lot of the ships that would normally be coming to our West Coast are bypassing the West Coast, going down through the Panama Canal just to make it a shorter trip and heading to Europe. Whereas a lot of those shipping would normally be, I mean, it's not like they're not coming, but it's a lot less than usual. And I was scratching my head, and it kind of makes a little more sense. I mean, are they just trying to, is this a coordinated thing, or do you think it's just random dominoes have fell and now we're in it?
I would say it's a domino effect based on logistics. And, when you shut down an entire supply chain for a period of time, this is what we're seeing happening now. So when I look at different products that are being sold, for instance, right? Today they're sold at X amount of dollars. Let's just, I don't know, I'm just going to pick something off my desk here. Here's a bottle of pills, right? So you look at a company and you say, okay, that company is selling its pills for $29 or $39.95 today, right? You come back to their website 2 weeks later, and that $39.95 product is now $49.95. Okay, well, what happened? As the current inventory gets exhausted for a lot of companies, and then they have to restock, now they're restocking essentially at the new price, and they have to mark those products up to compensate for the price increase that's been passed down, right? So like I said, when I was looking at this box here 6 months ago, at 50 cents, or a year ago at 50 cents, and now it's, over $2, I'm looking at that and thinking, between that and a bottle and everything else, how can I get that product at the end of the day finished and into a consumer's hand at a proper price? So I've been looking at this kind of stuff in our manufacturing abilities and saying, okay, maybe it's time to just stay with what we've got rather than try to do a bunch of new, because anything new it's challenging. Like, I'll just be honest with you. So I can see where these price increases are coming from to the end consumer, because it's just built and built and built along that, right? And then, the turnaround times and everything else. So we can see why our shelves are getting emptied, because the reserves are getting used up. And I think at the start of the season, we saw full shelves and that kind of thing on a lot of these products, because there were still reserves in the warehouses with the manufacturer and the distributors and everything else. Now we've got exhausted reserves, and they're trying to keep up with these products, but when they're not receiving any, or they're 6 months back ordered on this kind of stuff, I think come, as rough as it is right now, when we're just in the beginning of December, we're still at the beginning of cold and flu season. We have to remember, right? Because the peak of cold and flu season actually comes in January and February. And what happens is, and this is why you see essentially a surge in cold and flu season come January and February, is we may get one of these bugs in October, November, December, as the weather starts to change, right? It gets cold, and we see, the season change. So in a lot of cases, we'll get that bug in our body, whether it's a virus or whatever it is. And at that point, we're just coming out of the summer months. We've had lots of sunshine. Essentially, our immune system, I'm going to say, is stronger, right? On average. So we get that bug in our system come November, December, October, and that bug kind of eats away and erodes at our immune system through December, through January. And then when our immune system is at its weakest, say come January, February, is when we see that sort of second round of the cold and flu, worse than it was in October, November, because our immune systems, like I say, have been compromised throughout those months. We're not getting the sunshine, you know, our vitamin D is low. In a lot of cases, many people have gone through like the Christmas and New Year's seasons, and our diets get challenged, let's say, for those times a year. And I'm just being real, like it's who and what we are and kind of how we live, right? And normally, you know, through the Christmas and New Year's season, we eat a little bit more than we normally do, and we eat a lot of those kind of foods that aren't.
No, I was not pointing at you. She said, I was saying, yeah, that's true.
Like,
She's
no,
I'm gonna get an elbow over here.
Right. It's just us being people, right?
Yeah.
And you know, and then unfortunately we come into the new year and we pay the price for it. And it you know, this isn't something that doesn't happen every year, right? It's, you know, we can look back forever, and we've always seen, you know, January, February kind of get hit a little bit harder, and this is why.
But where does that leave us in terms of the ability to get the medicines that we need to boost our immune systems in a healthy way? Like if there's going to be lack, then is there going to be resupply that's going to be able to like surge back and just everything gets back to normal? Because I'm concerned about inflation, because you combine this lack of product with inflation. So my thought is, all right, so you guys who produce these things are going to have to charge more just because of the nature of business and how the supply chain has been hit. So now you've got to charge more, but everything costs more, so people have less money to buy these things. So where does that leave us?
Well, we're 100% going to see the price of these kind of products increase. You know,
Yeah.
And the products that we're talking about are the products that are going to suppress your immune system and suppress that cold. We need to talk about items that are going to help support that cold to get it out of our bodies faster.
Truth, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, yes, Tylenol is definitely important to have. Sorry, I shouldn't use names, but fever reducing products, those are important. But there's also items that you can have and at your home at the ready for when you do have a fever that will support that fever and help rid it from your body, because there's a reason your body is having that fever and you need to get rid of it.
Well, and we did not come on to do shameless plug city with Doug's company. We know that Doug has this company, so he has insight. However, I do want to talk about Amio Life, and that was my idea, not his, because they make products that help with a lot of this stuff. But do speak to the natural product sector. Like how is it that what do you think are things that we could stock up on now that we're going to really want, and they may be either too expensive or not able to get them in the near future?
So as you know, I'm the biggest fan of silver, and and you know, shameless plug, but you know, just if we look at the science of silver for a second, we're gonna mention some other things too. You know, silver is one of the best immune supporting compounds or natural elements on the planet. You know, it naturally cleanses yeast, bacteria, fungus, and mold, right? It doesn't metabolize in the body. It doesn't put any workload on the immune system. It doesn't put any workload on the digestive system. So it's in a category all of its own for supporting the immune system. And we've had, I can't even count how many customers reach out to us, and a lot of the people that have, you know, been a part of watching us here, you know, on your channel, saying like, thank goodness, like we are doing so much better this year than we have in years past. And it's so humbling to know that we're making a positive impact, right? So yeah, I think silver is absolutely, in my opinion, the best immune supporting supplement going. You know, with vitamin D, zinc, a good vitamin C, and you've really got to watch vitamin C, because a lot of vitamin C's come from compounds in their laboratory made. So you want to get a natural occurring vitamin C that's coming. Yes, sir.
How and what? Please be more specific, because that would be something to stock up on now.
Yeah, you want to get like a camu or something that's actually being plant driven from a vitamin C, not a laboratory created vitamin C. Looking at the diet, looking at things that are going to compromise their immune system. I know that December and Christmas and New Year's is a tough time on our diets, but it's also a heavy sugary time for our diets, right? And sugar and the yeasts and all the good stuff that we just love this time of year are just full of the stuff that are wreaking havoc on our digestive and immune systems. So, and we're all guilty. Like, I mean, it's part of the season and it's hard, but, just thinking about making some, rather than having 4 cookies, maybe have 1 or 2. Just
you haven't had her cookies, man. You haven't. That's the problem.
Yeah,
totally. Because, like I say, come January, February, we are going to see more of a shortage. Thank goodness for our products is we saw this coming, and we spent the last year and a half really stocking up on bottles, on our raw materials to make the products. So unless there was something completely unforeseen, we're actually in really good shape to supply our customers.
Wow. So now vitamin C, obvious. Vitamin D, is there a specific kind? Because you're mentioning chemically produced vitamins. How do you know what's good and what's not?
It's really hard. And when you're looking at the supplement facts panels of products, one of the baselines that people can look at, because especially when we're kind of seeing a run on products right now and things, going very quickly, even with the natural supplements, is what I normally do when I'm looking at a supplement is I'll chase the supply chain of that ingredient back to see where a raw ingredient is coming from, right? But a quick down and dirty when looking at a supplement is when you're looking at the supplement facts panel, let's say, on a product, look below the supplement facts panel, look at the other ingredients. And if you're seeing a product that's containing a bunch of nefarious ingredients, corn products and sugars and chemicals that you can't pronounce,
or metals.
Metals.
Yeah, exactly. So what that tells me right off the get-go is if that company doesn't care enough about me as a customer to keep those nefarious ingredients out of it, most likely their active ingredients are going to be lesser quality. And that's just a quick down and dirty, because we could spend hours and hours talking about this.
Right.
But really, like I say, pay attention to those supplement facts panel, not as much the fancy little label on the front that says doctor recommended and all this kind of junk that's just trying to sell you something.
Right.
You can tell how a company cares about you, about what's on the supplement facts and what's going into those products. That's just, like I say, a quick down and dirty on choosing a good supplement, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of not so great stuff out there as well.
So now let's talk about structured silver for just a second, because one of the questions I wanted to ask is, does it have a shelf life that's like, I mean, does it expire? I mean, when you have the silver, the AmioLife silver products, like, do they go bad?
We have a 3-year stamp on our products. But just thinking that nothing can grow in silver. So no coliforms, no bacteria, no yeast, because silver destroys that. Silver purifies water. So we can actually, we've seen this survive on a counter up to 10 years without an issue. But in order to increase that best buy date, let's say, you've got to go through vigorous testing through different channels. That's extremely expensive. And we find that our customers are using the product as they receive it, or, if they stock up, they use it within a couple months. So I haven't found that people will even have the product on their shelf for that long without consuming it. But if they do, it's safe to know that that product is going to
Right.
last an extended period of time.
Now, briefly, you mentioned earlier it will inhibit or kill molds,
Yeasts,
fungus,
and
bacteria.
Yeah,
So
I can remember all four.
What would be some of the common uses for, say, the structured silver in the water product?
Taking it twice a day to support the immune system and the digestive system.
Okay, so how much now, I know you're not a doctor. We're not doctors. This is not medical advice. But let's say that I was going to use that product. What would be a common use?
2 teaspoons twice a day or 2 tablespoons twice a day, depending on body size and depending if you feel that your body is combating something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I woke up, I was in a public event the other night. I woke up on Monday and I felt awful. Like, I mean, I knew that my body was really fighting something. I drank a quarter of the bottle just to give myself, and like I say, this isn't by no means medical advice. I just made that decision for myself that whatever is attacking me, I want to hit it hard and I want to hit it fast. And that was about 8 in the morning. I did that. By 1 in the afternoon, I felt normal again.
Really?
It was, whatever I was suffering from. And I mean, I felt awful, like really bad. It kind of helped me course correct that. So, the feedback that we get from our customers is, how do I say this properly? They haven't gotten affected by the seasonal bugs, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, because you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
I can't heal, treat, or cure anything. But so if we look at it from a supporting role, for instance, we're supporting the immune system. We're supporting the body to do what it was supposed to do naturally. And like when we look at health supplements, right? Health supplements don't heal, treat, or cure conditions. But what they do is they give the body what it needs to do what it's supposed to do naturally. And, and we talked about this on prior episodes before, is our world was created as a healing, treating, curing world, right? God created us. God created our world to support our bodies. We just have to give our bodies what it needs in its most natural form and not something that's been man-made or manipulated, and let his world take care of us. And that, if there's one sort of radiating statement I can leave for us here, because we're running out of time, it's our goal in what we produce to give to our customers is keeping everything that we make as absolutely on par with creation as possible. We're not the scientists. God's the scientist, and we just want to bring to the human body what he created and not put our fingerprint on it, because anything that man creates, he makes it worse. So we don't want to take what God made and try and make it better. We just want to give what he made to people. And through that, we see phenomenal stories coming from our customers. And it's not because of a product we've created. It's just something that we've been able to capture and get into a bottle how it was intended to be used, I guess is the best way to say it.
That's awesome.
That's excellent.
And,
I know you didn't ask for this, but I'm going to shamelessly plug ameolife.com. How do they, I'll put a link down below too. But one quick thing, because I know we got to go, is that the people that work at ameolife.com, I keep getting emails from our people that watch this show. Then they go and become your customers, and then they thank me or us for your customer service. So well done, sir. Whatever you're doing is working, because we get emails all the time. Yeah,
customer service is a huge thing.
Totally, and we just, at the end of the day, we care.
Yeah.
Like we for us, this is a mission. God put us in this place to do something, to care for the people, and especially as we get into further times of need, we're just doing what we were intended to do and called to do. So with that too, is we've also got a promo code for the viewers of your channel. Big, Big 30 is the promo code, BIG30, all one word. Will save any of your viewers 30%.
Gang sign. There you go.
And like I say, we just want to be here to help any way we can, to educate and, you know, bring our mission to whoever's watching this and feels compelled to join us.
Sounds good,
Awesome.
man. Well, that said, my questions about the supply chain have been thoroughly
Yes,
answered.
definitely.
Are we good? We're good? Everybody good?
I think we're good.
I'm good. And I look forward to meeting some of the more people that come to us from there. I get on the phone and talk to a lot of the people that watch the show and have questions and
Awesome.
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So we're here to serve. We're not here to heal, treat, and cure, but we're here to do whatever we can to support the natural wellness
Cool.
of
Excellent.
our bodies.
All right. Well,
Excellent.
Doug, thank you so much for your time. I know our viewers appreciate it as we do.
Yep.
And well, everybody have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Bye.